When you talk to somebody and they say, my mind is racing, it's not racing with what's going on at the moment. It's racing with stuff that has happened and hasn't happened. It's stuff that could happen, stuff that already did happen.
%83 of Americans identify as not very happy, which can hold you back and negatively affect your relationships and your business. On this podcast, we discuss the proven steps to happiness so you can restore balance and rekindle your joy.
Welcome to How to Be Happier for Entrepreneurs, the show for high performers who are done with all the chasing and ready to create the lives that feel good from the inside out. Each week, we bring you bold guests, practical tools, and emotional breakthroughs for the parts of success that need to start from within. Today, I'm super excited to welcome back Dr. Jon Connelly. He is the founder of Rapid Resolution Therapy and the author of the brand new book, Quick Shifts, a guide to transforming the way we think, feel, and process emotional pain. But first, real quick, let's have this message come to you from Limitless You. It might just be the most important minute of your day, because if you're living in hustle, always reaching and never resting, you're trapping yourself and getting stuck in an old pattern. Limitless You is here to help you break free, to take the first step toward profound change and greater happiness. Listen up.
Hi, I'm Brad Chandler. For over 20 years, I flipped 4,500 homes, chasing success I thought would bring peace. What I didn't realize was the stress and chaos weren't from my business. They were signals of deeper issues.
And I'm Yvonne. My path was different, but equally eye-opening. I spent years transforming organizations into high-performing powerhouses, yet I neglected my own well-being. When I began uncovering subconscious patterns and listening to my body, everything changed.
That's why we founded Limitless You, to help business owners and executives like you uncover and conquer the subconscious beliefs holding you back. Whether it's the stress of business chaos, overworking, relationship problems, or anxiety and self-doubt, these are signals, indicators of deeper patterns that can be rewired to unlock your full potential.
Imagine building a business that fuels your joy and fulfillment.
If you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving, visit unlocklimitlessyou.com and book a free session.
Let us help you build a life that doesn't just look good, but also feels good.
All right. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jon.
Oh, it's wonderful to be with you. Thanks so much, dear.
Yeah, so I know a little bit about Jon, but hope to know a lot about Jon at the end of this conversation. And I know that starting with intention.
Should I be scared here?
Well, it's your choice. Starting with intention is so very important. So let's take a deep breath in. And the intention I want to hold here today with you and with our listeners is to learn to live in flow, not in force. And as we're going to break down today, invite our minds to only entertain things that actually have value. Jon, do you want to hold that intention with me today?
We've got it. Yes, of course.
Awesome. So we'd like to hop into it, right? Let me start with one of the most paradigm shifting things that I've heard you teach. You say, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the brain shouldn't even entertain a thought unless it meets two criteria: good to have done and possible to do. Is that right?
That would be advantageous. Yeah. Let me back up just a bit and provide a little bit of a framework, and then I'll catch up
Perfect.
with you if I can. I would suggest that our minds are primarily concerned about our survival, Yvonne.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's okay, then maybe thrive. You and people that are listening to us today are operating with both intentions, survive and thrive. We're there has been emotional disturbance and turmoil and feelings of stuck, what has been activated, I believe, has been more about the concern about survive than the concern about thrive. So the way I understand it, and by the way, when I say the way I understand it, I don't know what's true. I'm not a truth purveyor. I simply provide ways of looking at things, lenses, things to check out, and beliefs, I think, organize data. So look at things this way with me, kind of like the way you would look at it if somebody was teaching you how to play a board game. You're not saying, well, what do you mean? Why do you say that I can only move 2 spots? I could move it 10 spots. No, we agree to kind of think in a certain way in order to play the game. So I'll be asking folks to think in a certain way with me, not to buy that it's true. Just look through this lens for a few moments.
I love that. So let me just recap that, because I love what you're saying, and I think it's so important. I always tell people, don't believe anybody until you just try something on for yourself, experience it. So one of the things I love about your teachings and your book, Jon, is that you provide an experience, and then people can choose how they feel or what opinions or meaning they want to give to that experience. I think it's so important that we let ourselves just experience it without having to say right or wrong. Just be in the moment and experience it.
So the mind interested in survival has to cause things to happen. Things that happen can be divided into 2 categories: internal, external. Internal is respiration, perspiration, circulation, digestion. All of those things are going well enough or we wouldn't be with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But mind also has to cause things to happen external. We'll think of that as behavior. In other words, in order to get digestion to happen, it's got to get Joe to get up and go in the kitchen and eat something. In order to cause these behaviors, mind has emotion, sensation, thought, impulse, and habit. Those are the tools that are available in order to then cause the behavior. So these tools are not updated and refined and put together in ways that work well for us. Our bodies are built for a completely different situation than we'll ever be in. Our minds are more advanced than any other life form, but certainly not integrated. Hence, you hear people saying constantly things like, I know that I have to be able to calm myself if I'm going to be able to motivate myself so that I can get myself started. I hope I can keep myself going, except for I'm not quite sure I like myself. In fact, I don't even think I probably hate myself, actually, but my coach tells me I need to be loving myself so that I can get started. All this kind of stuff. I don't think any other life form has ever had a thought like any of those. I don't think a crow is saying, hey, I want to be on that tree. First, I got to calm myself down. Then I got to get myself motivated. Then I got to, if you go to the crow and say, how do you feel about yourself? She's going to say, well, who is she and how is she any different than me? So our minds are super advanced, and with the advancement has come significant dysfunction. I believe that a way to view things, not the only way, not the right way, but a useful way for me to view things is if someone is experiencing something, the experience is being caused by the mind of the individual that's experiencing it at that moment, all the time. I mean, all the time. I mean, his foot is on fire, and somebody says, Yvonne, what do you think's causing what's going on? And you say, I think he's in a lot of pain. Well, what's causing the pain? You say, his mind. The person says, you're crazy, Yvonne. His mind, his foot is on fire. What's the matter with you? And you say, yeah, but would it be bothering him if he didn't have a mind? So it's the mind that's causing the experience. Why is mind doing anything? Why is anything anywhere? I would guess that the answer to that question scientifically is that I just did what I just did because of some interaction between environmental and physiological things. Billion here, a billion there came together, caused what I did over there. Our minds are so advanced that people's attention is often experiencing things like regret, things like resentment, things like guilt, and when not busy with that, moving into the future with things like worry, fear, and when you talk to somebody and they say, my mind is racing, it's not racing with what's going on at the moment. It's racing with stuff that has happened and hasn't happened. It's stuff that could happen, stuff that already did happen. And that causes that individual to be everybody is in the present, of course, but he's experiencing past and future, and experiencing past and future simultaneously. He's experiencing past and future simultaneously. The thing that the future has in common with the past is that we can't do a damn thing.
Right.
So, hey, if I say to you, do me a favor, Yvonne, just clap your hands in the past. Go ahead, hurry. And you go, dude, I can't do that. All right, then do it in the future.
Doesn't exist.
I do that anyway. Well, if you can't clap your hands, how are you going to build your business? How are you going to improve your marriage? How are you going to get healthy? How are you going to do anything? And so one of the places people are stuck is in this stuckness we call disappearing present. And with disappearing present, and you listen to somebody and they say, I always end up coming late and then I feel apologetic. I always end up retiring. I always end up sitting in the back of the room. I'm the kind of guy who all of that, there's no present in any of it, hence no power. And so when I meet with somebody through the rapid resolution therapy perspective, and I understand what's going on with that person, what he's experiencing, I understand that what he's experiencing is being caused at this moment by what his mind is doing, most of it outside of conscious awareness, that is reading, processing data. And then if you said to me, well, what's the deal? Simplify it. You're talking all over the place. What the hell is causing people to do the things that they're doing? I'd say, well, I guess because of things that happened to them. Broad view, your skin color happened to you, your height happened to you, being a woman happened to you, mother happened to you, father happened to you, boyfriend happened to you. So people are the way they are because of stuff that happened to them. Hence, if I'm meeting with somebody, my intention is always to eliminate suffering and free the mind to prosper. And so how are you going to do that, Jon? Well, everything about what's going on for him is because of stuff that happened to him. So what am I supposed to do if I want to make a difference? Happen to him. So then I say, okay, if I'm going to make things better for you, I better happen to you. 1, 2, I take full responsibility for that. So I don't say to you, you're in a safe place now and you go ahead and change yourself and I'm going to be your cheering section. I say, you getting better is absolutely my job. You came in, I'm taking responsibility for it. I'm going to happen in a way that causes things to shift so that you experience a much greater measure of your creativity, power, passion, sensuality, health, fun, all of that. I want it up, and the other crap out of the way. And the other crap is probably mostly about mind spinning in these time zones where we don't have power. wow, you present a platform where I'm just going crazy. I hope I don't have to listen to this. I don't think I can follow it, but I
Well,
hope.
let's break it down a little bit. Let's use an example. So a lot of people that I know that are listening to this podcast, they're entrepreneurs. And as a relatively new entrepreneur, I understand a little bit more than I used to. But as I talk to them, they talk about this hustle, and it's I got to be in hustle, and I got to, work hard, and I got to get this certain goal. And quite often, a lot of them are thinking that they need more money or they need more success. But when you sit down and you talk to them into the present and you look at what they have, sometimes they actually don't, but they get stuck in the hustle. Or because they're stuck in the hustle, they miss an opportunity. So let's bring our listener in this example into the present, get rid of the past, get rid of the future, and let's make sense of everything that you just said in this example. Like, imagine I'm them.
You got to make me make sense of what I just said. Damn. What did I do to piss you off?
It's
But
like the Abbott and Costello. Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know. Is on third. Let's break.
you're making a whole lot of sense, Yvonne. And the thing that you said is need this, need that, need the other thing. Now, there's long time ago, before you were even an idea, some guy came to me and he said, hey, I'm seeing you because I need to stop smoking. And I say, so you'd like to be a non-smoker? And he said, no, you didn't hear me. I told you I need to stop smoking. And I said, oh, okay, so you think you need to stop smoking? He says, yeah. I said, so you want to stop smoking? No, would you listen? I need to stop smoking. I said, okay, you need to stop smoking. What for goodness sakes makes you think you need to stop smoking? He says, I don't think it, I know it. I said, I'm sorry, what makes you know that you need to stop smoking? He says, my doctor told me I needed to stop smoking. I said, good grief, when did she say that? He said, 6 months ago. I said, she was wrong. Obviously, you've proven her wrong. You were smoking on your way in the door, so you didn't need to stop. But we're often thinking like the person you were just describing who's into what you called hustle. But the hustle, as you described it, is being based on, I need more money, I need more success, I need to show up more, I need more listeners, I need more purchasers, I need. And need is an obligation word. Work hard, you need, is not, no part of that sentence is fun. Work hard, you need this, you need that, you have to do this, you should do this, you ought to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, all of those are obligation things. Now, the thing about obligation is obligation can take anything, no matter how enjoyable, and turn it out and disappear the enjoyment.
They're shitting all over themselves, right?
Anything. Yeah. I mean, think of this guy sitting down and he's looking at his favorite dessert. And you go up to him and say, well, you absolutely have to eat this. And all of a sudden, what was pleasure, whether it's eating dessert, whether it's having sex, whether it's going on a vacation, no matter what it is, think of how much fun it is if it's obligatory.
Yeah.
Hey, we have an opportunity for you to take a side tour on this. Oh, that sounds interesting. Good, because you got to go or we'll kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I like it very much anymore. And so one of the things that the people you're mentioning from listening to you sound like they're doing is they're trying to motivate into hustle with need, which is obligation, which turns everything sour. And think about the things people think they need to do. I need to lose weight. I need to stop smoking. I need to get out more. I need to exercise more. I need to go to bed earlier. And how's all that working out for you?
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of it. So apparently when your mind hears I need it, it means I don't have to do it.
Yeah, I really want to break this down. So there's something they call the entrepreneurial edge. And a lot of folks listening will say, well, the stress or the hustle, that's where I've gotten today and I'm grateful for it. Or the big T trauma or the little T trauma I experienced, that helped me be resilient and, it's made me who I am. And if I stop, I'm worried that I'll lose my edge. And I'll say it could be your fast pass to your entrepreneurial grave, because when you live in stress or obligation of survival, you're causing inflammation and stress and decreasing the longevity of your life. So break this down, Jon.
It's so good that you're saying this to people. It's such a useful thing that you're saying, and I love the way you're describing it. So this whole thing, work hard. Think about a crackerjack eye surgeon who's going to be operating on somebody you love. Are you wanting her to be working hard? Are you wanting her to feel, oh, I have to do this. I need to do this. This is so important. This is such hard work. I had a surgery on my feet many, many years ago, and I was awake for it. This guy walks in, and he starts joking around with the nurses. He says, hey, where's the music? Next, they have loud rock music playing in this room. This guy is kidding, playing, flirting, having fun, cutting into my skin, taking this out, putting this in, doing all of this stuff while having a ball. I don't think he was there thinking, oh my God, I have to do this. I need to do this. I should do this. This is important. This is his feet. What am I going to do? People are watching me. Nurses are watching me. I better do a good job. I have to really work hard and make use of my knowledge. I think he was having a freaking ball.
Yeah.
And when I'm meeting with somebody and when I'm teaching other people to meet with somebody, and sure as hell while I'm meeting with you, I'm having an incredible amount of fun connecting with you. So I have yet to work hard since we met. I have yet to feel obligated. I said to you when you began with me, I said, wow, you're fun. I'll hang out with you as long as you want. You probably have a life you have to get to. I don't. So I'm experiencing this as a wonderful opportunity, and it's fueled because my mind is seeing opportunities. Creativity is flowing.
Yes.
As I'm moving forward, my mind is attaching. It's showing me what's possible, attaching pleasure to what will be good to have done, satisfaction as it's getting done, which is keeping me on a roll. I'm not working hard or feeling like I'm hustling. When I'm going to be doing when I'm up in front of a group training or working with people individually, and even on, I'm meeting with people on tough stuff. I'm meeting with the fellow who was in the service in Ukraine, and then he was captured and in a Russian prison and has been released and has all these crazy nightmares and all this stuff and all this pain. Yet, as I meet with him, I don't want to meet with him thinking, oh my gosh, this is a terrible obligation. This is very important. This is very necessary. I'm engaging him in a thing where he ends up laughing and having fun. And in order for that to happen, I have to be having fun. And in order for me to be having fun, it's moving toward interest and desire rather than obligation. And you nailed it when you said the whole obligation thing is creating stress, which I said that makes so much sense. But to underline it, more specifically, it's activating one sympathetic nervous system activity, which gets activated when people feel either fear or anger. And it enables us to do one of two things better: run really fast for a short distance or bite something really hard. Probably not anything you're going to need so much this afternoon.
Absolutely.
What goes down? When that goes up, when this person's going, I got to hustle, I need to get this result, what goes down? Here's what goes down. One thing that goes down is the body's doing maintenance and repair or healing itself. What else goes down? Logic. What else goes down? Reason. What else goes down? Creativity. What else goes down? The ability to generate and respond to humor. What else goes down? The ability to seize an opportunity. What else goes down? The ability to see potential and possibility. What else goes down? Sensuality, creativity, sensuality, reason. What situation are we going to be in where we want those shut off?
Exactly. So it's so logical. You and I can have this conversation, and even the listeners probably are starting to get it, right?
Well,
Let's think about what is the shift, right? Your book is talking about quick shifts. You know, I've had people come to me and we're happiness coach and hypnotherapists, and we're able to make quick shifts, right, with our method. But you have another method too. I want the listeners to hear about. I've had people come to me like, I get it, but I just can't embody it, or I get it, but it can't stick. So for somebody, Jon, that's listening, and they're like, okay, I get this, and I don't want to die, and I want to be creative, and I want to be able to see opportunities, and I want to connect to my family and my workers and everything. And I've tried so much.
Well, I'd start right here with it, Yvonne. I would start with what you did is you said the word want 6 times in a row.
Yeah.
And what mine heard every time you said want is lack. So if you repeat that again, how about this? I lack success, I lack opportunity, I lack reason, I lack ability, and I'm needy.
Yeah.
So
Language.
would you date me if I said that? Hey, let me date you. I lack this, lack this, lack this, lack this, lack this, and by the way, I'm very needy.
Yeah. Let's talk about language. The words we use have so much power.
What we're doing is around language. So get rid of wanting, because when the plant wants for water, it means it's about to die of thirst. When the child wants for love, we want to rescue that child and love on it. So all of this thing about how you have to want it enough, actually unconscious and conscious mind speak similar but very different languages, understand things very differently, and the whole notion of want is not powerful. What I would suggest is where you began, young lady, which was let me tell you my intention for our meeting, Jon, and will you intend it with me? Wow. I mean, I have goosebumps right now just recalling your words, because that has power right here, right now, in the present. I intend, and then somebody might say, well, good, the road to hell, you know. Pay for your freaking ass good intentions. So I hope after you intend, you're going to be working hard. I'm happy to start with the intention part. The work hard thing, I'm not so sure about. What I would say is if I'm intending, I'm already on the way to it. And if I'm already on the way to it, if I notice that, appreciate that, that magnifies that. Hey, 2 people are sitting in San Francisco, and this one guy intends to get to New York City, wants to go to the observation deck of the Empire State Building. The other guy sitting right across from him, San Francisco, never heard of New York. Who's going to get there first?
Right.
Well, if he's going to get there first, let's think he's on the way. The intention is already on the way. He can appreciate that he's intending it. That's going to move him further toward it. Then he's naturally doing this thing that comes from the intention. And then the doing of it, as it's appreciated, moves the next thing and moves the next thing and moves the next thing. And what we're doing instead is we're thinking that need is the solution, And work hard, want hard, need hard, hustle is, I think it's a great recipe if you want to be able to learn more about hospitals from the inside out. But it's not the recipe toward somebody really excelling. Think of this amazing comedian up front of a group of people, and he's got the audience in stitches. Is he working hard? Is he thinking, oh no, I have to do a good job? What if I don't? I do much better when I'm not confused thinking it's necessary. Have that intention, notice appreciatively movement toward it, which will move it further and further and further. And you're using all of these concepts, certainly many of them, even as you're thinking with me. We're using little bits of different language, but I'm learning from you, you're learning from me. We've got the magic of this two intentions coming together. You started with a joint intention. Every time I'm meeting with somebody, I have an intention, and whenever possible, quickly, that individual has the intention and the fire. Because we have the same intention, the same purpose, the same vision, our energy comes together. As energy comes together, it expands, expanding energy, fuel, power. Now we have power fueling a shift. The shift is already underway. Hooray. But you better work hard.
Let's play devil's advocate. So we have a good intention. We're choosing, right, our actions.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure of that. I understand that's.
Do you choose your action? Okay, so there's a couple of words I want your thoughts on. So let's imagine, because a lot of our listeners are entrepreneurs. How would you recommend they use powerful language to intend for their life and the life of their loved ones as much as they can impact it? They're intending to live an impactful, prosperous, joyous life. How do you bring it to the present? I believe in desire. Desire
those are lovely, and all of them are conceptual. And really bright people like you and your listeners will tend to think automatically in concepts and generalities. However, the facet of your mind that you're looking to bring along with you, this thing you call yourself, doesn't understand that stuff.
Right.
For instance, somebody is asked, they're asked to give these impromptu speeches about nutrition. She gets up and she's very smart and she speaks about the importance of fiber. Next gal gets up and she says, well, I don't know about all that, but I think it's very good that we eat many different fruits and vegetables and eat fruits and vegetables regularly. Third person stands up and she says, hey, if you were holding an orange and you squeezed it a little, you could feel its firmness. But to remove the skin, you got to grab a little piece and tug. And as you tug, you see that white fuzzy stuff on top of that lush orange color. And then when that's all tugged, and now you squeeze, but even gentler, because it's so much softer and more responsive. And if you squeeze just enough to free up one little droplet of that juice, and you see it rolling down the side of the orange, and touch it with the tip of your tongue before realizing how sweet and tart it is combined, so that you take a big bite and that juice just squirts all through your mouth, and then finally you swallow it. Well, the question is, which of these three speeches was causing an increase in salivation?
Yeah.
And the increase in salivation, you didn't, and your salivation increased during that, and it wasn't because you consciously thought it would be a good idea. So the communication reached unconscious. inner mind and got a deep response just from that. So when somebody is intending, like you just mentioned, and you came up with a string of words, I don't remember them all, but they were all very positive concepts. But I think that they don't get deep into unconscious. So let's say you were looking to be friendly. And I said, well, who you want to be friendly to? And you said, I really want to be friendly to people. And I don't want to just be friendly where it's going to, I'm going to get some financial advantage. I want to be a friendly guy. I want to be friendly to everybody. Be friendly in general. Be friendly, appreciative, kind. Now, who can argue with that? I'm all for you being friendly, appreciative, and kind. Already you got there, though you're there. But I mean, I think that's wonderful for somebody to aspire to. But now you're asking, how does this how is that person supposed to get that damn thing diving deep into the mind and cause it to actually appear? And the answer is you got to communicate to the unconscious. And how do you do that? Unconscious mind, notice what happened with the 3 speeches: fiber, fruits and vegetables, or the taste of that orange. Unconscious mind responds to specificity that gets a sensory response. So you tell me you want to be friendly, and I say, okay, I'm intending for you to be friendly. Intended with me, you're friendly at the grocery store, online, turning behind you and saying something to this guy with the cart behind yours. And what are you going to say to him? There he is pushing his cart. Turn your head, look at him, and say, oh, please don't tell me you actually eat that crap. No, that's not probably it. Or you could just turn your head and say, when I look in your cart, I understand why you look that way. No, you don't want to do that. You want to look back at him and say what? So now the words come. And you say something funny, or you say something sweet, or you say something like, I came here for a pickle, and look what the heck I bought. That always happens to me. And he laughs and engages with you, or he doesn't. He just looks down. He says, I'm not interested. Who asked you? Which is great, because you learn something about that dude, nothing about yourself, other than you're a friendly person, reaches out and does things. So rather than just, I want to be friendly, get into the specificity, and I mean really specific. I mean, fruits and vegetables might be a little bit better than fiber. I start seeing some colors with fruits and vegetables. Mm-hmm. But with an orange, I saw it, I tasted it. There was the fragrance, there was the kinesthetic feeling of tearing off the thing. All of the senses were involved. And when I do that with people, I should supply them with little buckets, because everybody's mouth is filled with water.
Yeah, we do something similar where I call it your limitless life movie trailer. And I have people use all of their senses and their imagination to create the vision of what they want. And that works really well. So if you're listening, I want you to write down specificity. I want you to engage all my senses. So Jon, the next thing I want you to tackle, playing devil's advocate here, a lot of high achievers, right, believe that sounds too easy. This possibly can't work for me. Or change has to be hard to be real, or business is hard. What would you say to the listener that says those things? Like, how could you shift, right? Because your book is about quick shifts. Your conversations are powerful. So let's pretend I'm this person. And I say, Jon, this this sounds great, but, and then I give you all these excuses of why it won't work for me and it's going to be hard and nothing's ever been easy. Like, imagine somebody is saying all those things to you. What's your next step to help them engage in their,
We grow up in a culture in which that is what we're exposed to right from the get-go. So if I could think with you a bit about the educational system, let's talk about teaching biology. So you have all of these 14-year-olds, and you're going to talk about life. And
I have one. I have a 14-year-old.
I can't believe that. Maybe when you were 8.
I have a 17-year-old too.
Well, just figure out how you're doing that. You can bottle it and retire. But what are they doing to get people to succeed in school? They're telling them they need to study hard. They need to work hard. They need to pay attention. They told me to pay attention when I was in school. I said, that's too high a price for me, dude. Concentrate. The whole notion that we were told we had to concentrate. If you go to a great movie, and the kind that you're not even going to know you're in a movie theater for the next hour, it's just going to take you.
Yeah, you lose yourself.
Remember when the guy walks up before the movie starts and says, all right, audience, make sure that you pay attention and concentrate during this movie. Because afterwards you will be tested to see whether or not you will get humiliated.
Yeah.
They don't. They cause the movie to envelop you, and you're walking out and you can't talk about anything else. And you remember this line, this line, this line, this line. So the people creating the movie got it, that it was their obligation to sweep the people watching it into the full experience and learning of it. They didn't tell them, work hard during this movie.
Yeah.
Take good notes, concentrate, pay attention, like they did in school. So in school, rather than take these kids in and say the Civil War in the United States, how fascinating is what happened with there, the whole history of slavery, brother fighting against brother. Let's bring people in as actors. You be Lincoln and you be Lee, and we're going to bring this thing to life in a way that engages and draws these kids into it, so they're fascinated and they want to go home, and their parents are yelling at them because they want them to turn the lights off and sleep because it's 2 a.m. and the kid's reading a Civil War book.
Yeah.
Let's cause that instead of bribing the kid to memorize what doesn't have value with a system of rewarding hard work with a B and punishing with humiliation the D and the F. So those folks who are excelling, I mean, think of Shakespeare. Think of anybody you see as an amazing artist. Is that person doing that because of a sense of hard work and obligation, needing to concentrate? I've got to paint this thing really hard if I'm ever going to get the Sistine Chapel. I've got to get there on time and work all day. They create breathtaking pieces of art and music.
Yeah.
Not by working hard, but by passion and interest, which does not thrive with obligation, but thrives with inspiration. So if you're looking to cause something to be going on for the employees that you have, all right, I'm not paying you for nothing, Yvonne. If you're coming to work, you got to get here on time. You work really hard because I'm going to be watching you. You better do it right. boy, I'm going to get bad work out of you if I do that stuff.
Yeah, and that person, I want to just like what Jon you're saying is hitting home and resonating. So I got grounded if I didn't get straight A's. And it wasn't because my parents didn't love me. It was because they lived out of fear because they didn't have.
That by people that did
Yeah.
that.
So what I want.
Let's replace hard work with inspiration.
Yes. And
let's
here's what I want to do.
Let's tell the teacher that it's her job to get the kid to be smart.
Let's yes. And for adults listening, I feel like to change the school system is quite the thing, but to change your home is another thing. So like for my son, my oldest loves school, did a good job. He's now going to college and that was never his challenge. My youngest doesn't like it. And I said, baby, think of it as a game.
They do everything to make sure it doesn't feel like a game.
Yeah. I'm like, can you
see feeling like it's a game? How about if his teachers made it into a game?
That'd be great. Until we get there, though.
Take responsibility for it. I can tell you, within the RRT framework, if people are training with me because they want to do this, they know that getting people better is absolutely their responsibility. Can I say something quick while we're still together?
Yes.
I do something called Solutions. It's a free open group. We do about 16 hours to 20 hours free every month. People attend from all over the world. Some people raise their hands and talk about sometimes really significant issues. But it's a really fun gathering, and you can tune in. It's absolutely free, and people are telling me that their lives are changing just by listening. Those people who are actually interacting are on an even faster track. But I just decided I want to make a contribution that teaches through inspiration and promotes kindness, caring, generosity, and love. We're in a world where people are getting better and better at killing each other's children, and I think it's significant to make a difference there. I think we can make a difference when we start thinking from children all the way up to grown-ups, and then with ourselves.
Yeah.
So you want to have a different life. You want to be feeling better, doing better, what have you. Get inspired. And if you are somewhat not feeling good enough to be very inspirational to yourself, get somebody like my friend Yvonne here to inspire you, rather than somebody to spend dull time helping you understand the roots of why you feel lousy. That's like trying to get rich by going deep into the roots of poverty. And I can tell you just from our little time together and the way you related to me, and your kindness and interest, that's what you're good at, is inspiration. Inspire this kid who's lucky to be your child. Inspire, and when they complain he's not doing well enough, say, well, you're not inspiring well enough. You inspire the learning that you're looking for. Bring that child into the community that you've formed, filled with innovative people that are looking to inspire others. And I can sense right here, he'll be lifted from that. He's not doing well in school. I'm sorry to hear the school isn't doing well for him.
Such a great perspective. For those of you that are watching, I want you to really check out Jon's solutions. You can go to rapidresolutiontherapy.com to get more information. If you're somebody that says, the group thing is not for me, I used to say the same thing too. We also have something at Limitless You called Limitless Connections. And why I know like you can get inspired even when you think you can't, and you have all these reasons why not. Surround yourself by people that are either inspiring or they're getting inspired. It is contagious. The energy levels rise up. You will think of things. So John was talking about earlier, like how all those things go down, right? When we're thinking, oh, it's too hard or it's too scary or I live in fear. Like our brain is meant to go into convergent thinking. It can't go divergent and be creative and explore and breathe and connect because it thinks it's got to survive. It's like John said, got to run or bite somebody really hard. So you're never going to get as far as you want to get if you're always in fight or flight. You physically, biologically are limited. You're limiting yourself. So know that if you really want to take care of people, if you're like, oh, I can't prioritize myself because I got my kids, I got my employees, or I got my spouse or my partner, whatever, you're not doing them any service by not being your best self. So if you have something like that you want to be inspired to intend for yourself, something that feels better to you, that lets you be more of your authentic, alive, happy self, why not take a chance and just try it? Like we started at the beginning of this conversation. Don't just believe us. Don't just believe us.
Yeah. Oh boy, I would love to comment on the I don't believe us. So many people have come to me who went other places and didn't get better, and they come in ashamed. And I say, well, what happened? Well, I went there for help and it didn't work. And I know why it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because because I was resistant, because I didn't try hard enough, because I didn't surrender enough. And my favorite is, she told me that I wasn't successful in manifesting all of these dreams because I didn't believe enough. Well, I can tell you, in the RRT world, and I believe in your world, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking I'm not. In our worlds, belief follows success. It's not the admission ticket. It follows success. So if you've been told that you didn't succeed because you didn't believe, the thing that got in the way of your believing was probably your intelligence. And the solution is to find somebody who thinks that it would be reasonable for you to believe they're going to be good for you after they have been. Not tell you that you were supposed to believe it before they were. And if they screwed it up for you, it was because you didn't believe enough that they would do a good job. People are buying this silly stuff and blaming themselves for misery that the professional they went to wasn't effective enough to make a difference. And hey, there are 3 books I have out. I feel excited about that. One is called Life-Changing Conversations. One is called Grief is Not Sacred. And the last one that we just did is called Quick Shifts, all available for pennies on Amazon. And I hope you'd like that. But if you want to get involved in RRT, it's free. It's free. We'll keep you busy without charging you a nickel. Go to the website, tune into solutions, and if you can, pick up one of the books too. And life begins changing right there, because you don't have to be a believer first. Just go and see if it's fun.
Yeah, what I love about, I have this book here, Jon's Life-Changing Conversations. It's actually the transcript from the conversations itself. And it's not, like we said at the beginning, it's not right or wrong. It's not trying to convince you. It's having a conversation, sharing it in a real experience for you to be open to give it meaning, whatever meaning that you want to give it, to open your mind to being, wow, that was possible. What's possible for me? It's amazing. I highly, highly recommend it. And
That was
just
the first one. I've gotten a little better as I kept at it.
and just to add, Jon, to something that you said, like, I think it's really important at Limitless You. So, how to be happier for entrepreneurs. This is our podcast. Our company is Limitless You, and the three things that we want to help people get rid of, unless they're in mortal danger. If you're in mortal danger, then fear is useful. But to get rid of fear, including fear of the unknown, judgment of self or others, and self-pity or self-victimization. Like, if you find yourself in those low vibrational energies, or other people, even sometimes a therapist, is trying to put judgment on you, know that you don't have to live there, and that's not valuable. That's not the only way, like the working hard or to beat yourself up or to judge yourself. If you've taken anything from today's conversation, I really want you to understand the power of language, right? And it's even the unspoken word. It's the words that you use inside of your head. It's really important. And I hope that Jon's examples have helped you see that. So your book, the most recent one, Quick Shifts, right?
Yes.
What would you say to the achiever who thinks that this has been a great conversation, but this can't possibly be that easy or work for me? What is one piece of advice that you would give them?
That his thinking on that is coming from his intelligence, that there are all kinds of things out there looking to scam him or her, and I'm glad that she doesn't have faith and belief. If you'd like, come taste it. It's free. See if it's useful, and then if you like the taste and take another taste. So it's simply, hey, if you've been feeling doubtful, this is some kind of snake oil. This people are trying to sell me. Well, what we're trying to sell you doesn't cost any money. The books are like under $20, and this group is absolutely free. And we're looking to actually make an impact, make a difference in the world, and turn things around so that, we want your grandchildren to live where there's a world for them, not just for, roaches and rodents.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, roaches and robots. Roaches and robots. We want to have room for humans too. And I think we can. We can turn it around by following with that. But you said, what about people who are skeptical? I'd say, give your skepticism a hug. I admire you for it.
Yes. Don't get yourself stuck there, though. Let somebody else give you a big hug too. And whether it's Jon and his crew at Solutions, or you can also try for free our Limitless Connections. It's a weekly mastermind where people that are interested in growing into more of their highest selves so that we can all enjoy this planet by being kinder to each other and to ourselves. So if you're feeling the weight of performing, right, for a world and your world, it never feels satisfied. Take this as your sign. You don't have to hustle harder to be worthy. You don't have to perform to belong. You just get to be here, just as you are. And when you can do that, then I think the peace will come and you'll live a life that flows. So Jon and I are here to walk beside you. We're here to support you. You can reach out to either of us. Just know that you don't have to be alone and you don't have to stay stuck. We're on a mission to help 1 million lives, and Jon's partnered with us, right? Because we all want to live in a better world, and we want the world to be better for our children and our children's children. So if this episode touched something in you, please like the show, subscribe it, or forward it to somebody that might need this exact message. It's a small act that can make a big difference, and it only takes a moment to pay it forward. So until next time, take a deep breath. Stop working so hard. And remember, it's your birthright to enjoy this life. And the real you is your greatest advantage. Thanks so much, Jon, for being here with me today.
It was lovely. Hey, I'm here for you whenever you might like to visit. I had so much fun.